out or safe call, or a call where a coach might challenge your decision. Now, one thing we'd like to talk about is why you guys all are here. I mean, you guys are making an investment. And we really appreciate the time and the effort that you're putting into. And if you want to make an analogy, if you were to take 2 Tylenol or 2 Advil, okay, this Advil costs 1/10 of a cent, but they charge $15 for 100. And that's because this one costs $15 million. Your first game up at the complex is going to cost you $500 or $600 or $700 because of the time and the effort that you put in, the uniform, the equipment, everything you're putting into it. There are guys out there going to work their first Division I game this year, and it's going to cost them $3,000 to $5,000 because they've been doing camps, traveling, doing all the free games, and now it's finally going to start to pay off for them. Well, one of the things to make that progression is how to handle situations. And that is pretty much how to handle an argument. And we're going to talk about 4 of them, but we're only going to really go over 3. When we talk about arguments, they can really be broken up into an acronym, LIPS: legitimate, intimidating, personal, and situational. All right, we're not going to talk about personal because that takes a reputation. Personal is I don't like you, you don't like me. That probably doesn't happen right off the gate of your career because you don't know them, they don't know you. But legitimate ones where there was actually something that they can talk about. Then there's going to be situationals. Something that you're not right, but they got to talk about something. And the last one is intimidating. He just wants to get into your head. And depending on how the coaches act, we're going to depend on how you handle the situation. And how you handle the situation will be much more important than whether you got the call right or not. Because you're going to get them right and they're going to argue. And you're going to get them wrong because we're human. So, when you're talking about handling a coach, there's a fine line between being aggressive and assertive. Because aggressive is not a behavior that people like to come at them. But you have to be assertive about your call and your position. And these things don't come easy. And it's going to take some. That's why it takes a few years to move from one level to the next. Because a lot of times you don't get these situations in every game. And how you handle them may take some time. So again, like they said, temper your need to advance with your need to learn. There's a difference between being confident and cocky. Because you don't want to sound cocky to a coach because he's going to pick up on that. He's going to completely turn around on you, and that is the behavior he's going to attack. He's going to forget about the call. He's going to go after your attitude. But you still have to be confident out there. And another thing to think about is like the Gary Cooper film star. Okay, the strong silent type. Okay, silence can't be misquoted. And just because you don't say anything doesn't mean he's walking over on you. So to be able to absorb what he's saying, know when to step in, know to only apply as much wood as you can so that we can move this along. Greg is right. We don't have these incredible blow-ups very often. In the high school level, their job is to teach. Their coaching is something else they do. They may love it, put a lot of time into it, but they come to work every morning paid by the county to teach. Now you get some coaches like travel coaches, when you see them, that's all they do. It's how they make their money. They may get a little more mouthy. And at the higher end colleges, that's all they do. Again, that's their job. But in that middle road, a lot of what you'll see, it's something else they do. Like this is something else we do. Okay, so for the purposes of this, we're going to go through 2 or 3 scenarios. Now, Al is going to be the coach. And we're going to pick from this side, you're first. One from that side, one from this side. In this situation, we're going to try to come up with 3, and they happen a lot. And I'm going to tell you what happened. It's going to be up to Al. I'm going to tell Al what kind of situation we got. So on this first one, it's going to be no one on. He's going to pull the first. He's going to
As he comes out, he's got a reputation. reputation.
Okay, we're going to start this off with, as best we can, you're right here. You're in the A position. There's nobody on. There's a ball hit to the infield. They're going to throw it to first, and it's not going to be a good. It's not going to be a good throw. And you're going to rule him safe, foot off the bag.
Okay.
Okay? So, he's back on B. Ball's hit, of course. He's going to step out. I'm going to catch it. I'm looking for it. And then I'm going to make something, and you're going to call me safe.
Okay.
Okay, ready? Okay. On go. Go. Safe! It's off! All right.
Alvin! Alvin! What? James!
Okay. All right.
James! What have you got? He was clearly on the bag. His foot was right here. Why did we save him there?
Coach, that's what I had.
Can you get some help on that? Can you call your partner? Everybody in the park sees that foot right there on the bag.
I hear your concern, Coach. I don't need any help. I had him off.
You had him off. You've missed it. You've got to do something here. You can't just call him safe just for the sake of calling him safe.
Coach, I understand you're upset. We saw it different. Now,
No, you're the only one in the park that has seen it different. How can you say he was off the bag?
Coach, we need to get back to playing. This is your warning.
I want you to get some help.
Coach, I need you to go back to...
I want you to talk to your partner
Coach,
and
I
get
need
some
you to
help.
go back to the dugout.
Why can't you get help?
Okay,
Why
Coach,
can you not get help?
This is your final warning. I need you to go back to the dugout right now.
That is absurd. You have got to get help on that. That's pathetic.
Okay, person, very good. He stayed calm. He wasn't going to get help. I mean, what's he going to get help? He's the only one. It's his play. He's not from the middle. And he kept calm. He gave him a warning. He probably went a little bit, but he turned. I mean, he did take that parting shot when he turned, but he was going back off the field. So, get him off the field. And he did calm him down because like Tony said, the first thing you want to address is bad behavior. When he started to get a little excited, he got calmer. He kept a nice distance. I don't think this is, hey coach, I know 2 hands out. Don't touch him. Don't cuss him. And he didn't let him talk him into a lot. Okay, if I've got him off the bag, that's all you need to say. Because the more words you put into it, the deepest hole we ever dig in our life, we're going to dig with our mouths. The more you talk, the deeper you go. I thought you handled it very well. Okay, on this one, Al, you get to be the coach.
I am the coach.
Okay, now I'm going to be the coach. You're going to be the pitcher. I want you to come set, and I want you to wiggle.
All right.
This side. You're in a B position.
Okay.
All right. You got a right-handed pitcher. You got a runner at second base. No, you're in B. Runner at first base. Okay. He's going to do something. You make the call.
That's a balk. Time. You, second base.
Dude, come here. Tom a second. What do you got?
You're the coach?
Yeah, I'm the coach.
Okay. Coach,
It's hard to believe. Most of them,
No, I'm sorry.
most of them are bigger.
Yeah, that's it. I didn't get to the mound. Try to get to the high ground.
okay,
What do you
Coach, he made a stop, and then he moved without delivering the pitch.
got? Look, wait, he made a stop. Did he come to complete stop?
Come to a complete stop, and then he made a movement with his body without delivering the pitch.
Look, he made a move, and then he. Okay, but did he? Was it all in one? I mean, didn't he stop at the same time? He stopped at the same time, and then he. Well, isn't that a complete stop?
And then he flinched before he delivered the pitch.
Wait a minute. Did he flinch or he didn't stop because of that? I mean, because if he was going through to the play, did he flinch or not stop?
He come to a stop, then he moved his body without delivering the pitch.
Okay. He moved his body. He flinched. He didn't stop. Now I'm confused. I'm sorry. What was the first thing?
Well, I had a balk based on the rule, Coach. Do you have
Okay.
any other question?
Well, what's the rule in that with a runner at first? I mean, as long as he goes to the, as long as he delivers, isn't that?
He turned his body toward first base. He made a movement after he came set into a stop.
Okay.
Okay. So, we good?
Well, we'd have to be because right now we're going around in a circle and no one
Right.
stopped this wagon train.
Okay.
Okay. Nice, different job. Okay, on that one, he said it 4 different times. Okay, it's a balk. What did he do? He moved before he went. Whatever you're going to say, pick one and stick with it. Flinched, moved, because I kept asking, so
Yeah.
you thought there would maybe, why? What do you think?
Well, I was just going to say, like, your tone was at an appropriate level. I didn't feel like you were being aggressive. You weren't, like, coming at me. And so I wanted to give you that opportunity. You know, at some point it's got to end. But I did, you know, just my opinion, I didn't feel like it had gone on so long that, you know, I just wanted to offer you that respect.
I understand that. There's a term called frenemies. He's your friend. He's that we're pretty friendly. I wouldn't do anything. I was trying to get him into a circle because I wanted him nice and calm. I wanted him to think that same thing. Hey, we're friends. Come on, help me out here.
But you were also trying to twist it to make
I was absolutely trying to twist it. He balked. I mean, it's one of those. It's a reason why to even get off the bucket.
because he would have balked on his decision if you tried to twist it.
Well, there's nothing I was going to do, but then, you know,
Right.
he's a lot of words, okay? The more words we use, the deeper that hole we dig. Coach, he balked. What did he do? He had a movement. He stopped. He had a movement. He stopped. He had a movement. Okay. Okay. That was pretty much a situational argument. There was no question that and there was no question that that's the award, because time, there, no question he did that right, that he wrong, but I had to do something. So I just couldn't come out, hey, what do you got? Now that would look ridiculous. So if I could get him in there talking, maybe he wasn't really that sure. Because you know what? I didn't hear the other guy yell balk. So
You didn't have one down there.
hey, listen, I'm in the building. I'm in the building. I would even call a balk on me. We all know that. I'm Sir Balk a lot. Just ask the guys in the A10. So again, if you're talking about this scenario, keep the words to a minimum. Okay, remember, they really aren't your friend. Because at the end of the day, if they lose and they can take it out on somebody, it just might be you. Okay.
I had a question, Kevin.
All right. Any questions so far?
Did it go on too long?
It went on too long because there was no change in it. We were in that circle. Okay, I asked them the same thing 3 times. I pretty much got the same answer 3 different ways. But it did started to go on for a little while. Because after about the 3rd time, what are you going to say? Coach, you didn't stop. Coach.
How do you end it, Kevin?
On that one, after 3rd, Coach, we had a ball. I understand that. Coach, we got to move on. Stop trying to answer his questions. Because he's pretty much asked the same question 3 different ways, and you've answered it 3 different ways. So it does look like we're having, you know, we've gone 3 different rabbit holes. Really, we're just in a circle. So after about the 2nd time, then you got to stop it. I mean, there was no any other rule. There was no award wasn't right. You don't have your partner coming out, maybe offer anything. There was nothing else you could do. We need to move on. We moved this guy in a scoring position. Let's move on.
Would you say flinch or would you say start and stop?
I would say, yeah, he had started and stopped.
I mean, you can get away with those 2 words in that situation.
I think so, as long as you convey the same way that he had a start and a stop. Okay? Because one reason they say about balks, now we want to get on there, is that you don't demonstrate what do you do, Coach? Oh, he did this. He did. So just, Coach, he
We've in
needs
the previous one, I would have asked Al, I don't want to see you demonstrating anymore after the first time he went over to the base.
You pointed to the
Yeah.
base twice.
He went over to the base, I would have said to him, Coach,
Al,
we're
don't
not
wait. Don't-
demonstrating
don't go back to the
anymore.
bag.
Stay right here with me.
That's
Right.
That's right.
I want to get a
Before you go to the 3rd one,
Yep,
Kevin,
sure.
on the 1st one, should James have gotten help on that? No. I know somebody in here is thinking, why didn't James bring his plate man in for help? Why didn't Alvin bring his plate man in? Should he? Could he? Kevin? Could he?
No, I don't think you can on that. It's your only call. You weren't straight lined. If you're in the middle of the field and the guy's reaching and your plate umpire's coming up, I think at some point you got to own your calls.
But
That's what I wanted to hear you
James
say.
also said off the bag, so at
Own
that point,
your
you're
call.
saying that.
Yeah, he's not.
playing off
Yeah,
the bag.
he said he's safe, and because it's supposed to just safe, and then he could come out. Okay, I understand he was safe, but his foot was off the bag. Yeah, did a very good job on that one.
Don't get help just to appease the coach.
So I mean, once you say off the bag, you definitely wouldn't get help in that.
You
Yeah,
said
you're
what you
saying
got.
wrong.
Right. And what else can? If someone can't offer any more, then no, it's your call to own up. So no, for that one he did good. He did let him demonstrate too much, and he could have pulled him back.
Call out from the plate. Do not go out there and change that call.
I'm sorry. What?
Don't go out there and change that call if he does call you. If he's obviously set off the bag, don't go out there and say, no, I had him on the bag.
No, you're not
I
in.
personally equate the off the bag call, if the umpire at first says off the bag, that's like you at the plate calling a strike on a check swing. You've called it, you don't need to go get help.
Right.
Okay, so if you call him out and he's off the bag and the coach comes out, by all means, go for help because you may have saw him off the bag. But if you've called him off the bag, you're done. You've done it, you've made that ruling.
I think it's a hard time when it's your only call to go get help.
I think if you're in B or C, that's the time to go.
I
If
think
you're
B
in
and
A,
C are different. That's why we were specific about A.
But I think if you've said off the bag, that's like calling a check swing strike. Once you've made that call, that's yours. It's on you.
Yeah, that's nothing else I can.
Yeah.
There might be one exception to that, I don't want to disagree completely, but if the bad throw brings him towards you from that A position, and now you're straight lined with that foot, you might not see whether he was off the bag or not, and the guy coming up couldn't see whether you maintained contact with the bag. That'd be about the only time I could see that you might want to get help.
But only if you called him out. Only if the plate guy, the base guy's called him out.
It's like I said without.
Okay, whether he's come off or not.
I think if you.
You got one runner. You got one call.
Right.
Because you're in the same situation as if you would be in B. You've got a straight line situation with a player coming at you. If the throw brought him to the point where he's coming at you, there might be a time where you want to get help. That'd be the only possibility I can think of.
Stick with your call on that one, because you don't have anybody else behind you. You came out from A. You've got you're not caught in the middle. You should be able to adjust left or right. If you screw it up, you've got to own your call. All right. From this side, what you've got is you've got a runner at first, and he is stealing second, and there's a swipe tag. And it doesn't matter what you call him.
Okay.
All right?
We can argue no matter what.
He's stealing second. He's got a swipe tag, and
I'm just arguing against whatever he's called.
yeah, right. But I mean, like, really, just keep it nice and quiet, huh?
Is this for enemy?
No, you already done that one. Just get him talking too much. Just get him talking too much.
Try to get help.
I can help. Yeah, you can help him out because I'm just okay. All right.
Where's the plate?
Third base.
All right. So you're up because you're in B. Now we're stealing, and as the fielder, I'm going to take a swipe tag. Okay. All right. So you stay right. The guy's stealing. You're going to do your step up.
Right.
Look over your shoulder.
Okay.
All right. Take about 2 more steps up. Okay. Go.
He's out.
Out? How can he possibly be out?
I called him out, Coach.
I know you called him out, that's why I'm out here. Raul, I mean, for God's sakes, what did you possibly see there?
The ball beat him.
What's that got to do with it?
The ball beat him and put the tag on him, Coach.
He did not tag him. He clearly didn't tag him. Did he tag him? You're my second baseman. Did he tag him?
Oh, yes.
He clearly didn't tag him. Thanks. I need the ninth grader at second base.
I got told my second baseman had to go umpire hat on.
There's no possible way he tagged him. Raul.
Absolutely, Coach. I was right there on top of it. He tagged
You
him.
were not on top of it. You were in terrible position. There's no way he tagged it.
Coach, we called him out. Let's get back to playing.
No,
Absolutely.
absolutely
Back
not.
to the
He
dugout,
was
Coach.
not out.
Yes, sir.
You missed it again.
Coach, this is your warning.
That
Please
goes
get
with
back
your
to the
third,
dugout.
that
We've
goes
got to
in the
get back to
third
the
inning
ball
on
game.
first base, and that fly ball to left field. How could you possibly have
Coach, you're
missed this
done.
one
Thank you.
too?
Have a nice day.
Now I'm gonna get my money's worth. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have been thrown out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're right. Now you're going to get your money's worth. Okay.
You told me not to get thrown out.
I asked you to do it. Okay, thanks. Okay.
Second baseman let me down.
Yeah, but you wanted a no tag. I should have been the runner you were asking.
Yeah, exactly. You did it right.
All right, what is it? What did you guys see there?
He didn't restrict him to the dugout first. Been the only.
That's going to be a tough one to eject. What else you see?
I'm not talking about previous plays. You got to, once he starts going back, that's the second one you missed, or you did this and that, and you've got to say something about, we're not talking about those plays, we're talking about this one.
You're done too doesn't give a clear indication of what.
Right. Have a nice day. Put that in your game report. Okay, didn't restrict him. Didn't address the bad behavior. Because he started off pretty nice. Bro, come on, how can you do that? Because he got you relaxed. He got your guard down. He's probably just out here because he's got to come out because his second baseman over there gave a shoulder shrug and he's out here to protect his players. And then he went a little septic on you. Okay? Because he caught you off guard. But anything else?
How would that situation change if, let's say that first play did happen at first and he comes out 2 innings later? If he's already been warned and you come out there right out, isn't the leash a little bit shorter?
Well, if you've been, if he warned you on the first one, but you didn't restrict him to the dugout, it's the same length of leash. If you're going to do something at a particular point, you have to do it back then. You can't make up. You can't get back at a guy later in the game. Because all they're going to do is talk about what you did later in the game. They're not going to go, well, in the first inning he yelled at me, the third inning he yelled at me, in the fourth inning he yelled at me. Well, you should have taken care of it in the fourth inning. Now, he's right. If you had restricted him to the dugout, he can't come out. And it also doesn't give him free shots. He's not casting from the dugout, too. Coach, you've been warned. You've already been restricted to the dugout. Okay, the words. Okay, Coach, you're ejected. You know, you're going to have a nice day. You're going to get it anyway if you eject them, but the more words you put in, or the more words you're going to have to put in that ejection report. Because ejection report is, you have to put what he did, and you have to put what you said. Whether it's a good ejection or not, you're going to get some pushback from the Wallses of the world, the Bellies of the world, those guys, because of extra words. So, keep it to the point. Recognize, because if you can not be surprised, recognize how the situation might be deteriorating in a hurry, and shut him down. Okay, Coach, we're not talking about any. And when you get to that, when he starts talking history, you know, it's over. That one is over. Now it's time to get him off the field. Okay? I don't care what this guy says. And I'm not going to let him go to the second baseman. So again, control him. You can't touch him. You can't belittle him. Hey, Coach, I don't care what he says. Hey, when he wears my color hat, he can tell you whether he was out or safe. We don't want to. Again, the more words, the worse the situation's going to get.
How do you keep him from going to, like, you know, he take like 2 steps towards the runner or second baseman? How do you stop that?
Coach.
You're here to talk to me.
Coach, you're here to talk to me.
Kevin, you're here to talk to me. I'll step right in front of you.
Okay.
If you're not talking to me, then get off the field.
So you kind
And
of
You need to leave the field.
I walk away from him, let him follow me. Okay?
And we would like to get this coach talking, facing the outfield. Because it's now he's nobody else. He can't project to the outfield. He turns around and now he's projecting to the crowd. We want him, we want to get him so he's not inciting anyone else.
There's no audience.
Yeah, there's no audience in center field.
Okay, you're talking about addressing the behavior. All right, it's the same thing in the first instance. When he starts doing all this gesticulating where he goes here and he does that and he does this, how did you address that behavior?
Hey, Coach, Coach, over here, Coach, we're not doing that. Demonstration. Okay, he called him safe.
After the warning, I should have restricted him to the bench.
Yes. And it might be, Coach, that's your...
Going to those older calls, then running?
If you got to get him to the bench, you got to get him off the
Well,
field
I'm
first.
assuming he wouldn't have left the field.
Then you would have then if you've warned him and restricted the bench, and I know this sounds like we're tucking their tail between our legs, but this is just the new way to do it. You got to warn him. High school, restrict him to the bench.
Okay.
Okay. He didn't touch you. He didn't cuss you. I don't mean cuss you like God damn, again. Okay. It was fucking horrible, and you're okay. That one you probably can go ahead and get because everybody
This
heard.
begins with you.
Things that begin with you are probably past that. But again, they're going to say, well, he said you were terrible. Is that all he said? Would he hurt your feelings? You can't throw a coach out for hurting your feelings.
That was pathetic.
Yeah.
All right.
It may have been, but.
May have been.
You weren't pathetic.
We weren't. We do want to calm him down and off the field.
How do you stop a coach from talking?
Let him keep talking until he can't talk anymore.
When you want him to shut up, what do you say to him?
We're done, Coach.
Don't ever, and you see this mostly out of newer umpires, don't ever tell a grown-up not to say another word. What happens when you say it to your 12-year-old daughter? And if you tell me not to say another word, now what are you going to do? Easiest way is that. No more. You told him. No more. If he continues to pursue it, Coach, I'm going to have to warn you and restrict you to the bench. I've told you we've got to move on. You're now restricted to the bench. You're now ejected. He's done it all. I'm sorry, Kevin. It's your class. I'm sorry.
No, you're absolutely right.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I hear younger officials all the time. Coach, don't say another word. You can't tell a grown man that. You can't tell your 12-year-old daughter that. Your parents couldn't say it to you, could you? Exactly. Don't expect it to work on a baseball diamond.
And we're not talking
No
about
more.
really about
I
ejections.
tell you, no more.
Okay, now be
Pretty clear
careful.
what I mean.
That's a little aggressive.
You're right.
Okay? Stand your ground. He can't show you up, and there'll be a time we talk more about that. We don't eject many because most of them don't want to be ejected. Some of them don't know how to argue. And some of us don't know how to take one. That's what we want to try to build. But ejecting people, this doesn't like notches on your indicator anymore. If you eject somebody, there are times, I swear, you go, it just isn't worth the paperwork. You just can't, Coach, I'd throw you out, but you're just not worth the paperwork. No, okay. That's not going to go very far. Okay? I've been at first base, and he's been in the third base dugout, yakking about something. This was in a tournament a few years back. Hey, Coach, you got a better chance of staying in this game talking to me out here than in there. So what's he going to do now? If he comes out and he does something, I throw him out, he's going to say, I baited him. So that part, the cute sayings anymore, they just don't work. Because as soon as he comes out and you say something smart, he's going to stop talking about the argument and he's going to start talking about you. All I wanted was an answer, and what do I get? I get 10 minutes at a comedy club.
It's not about baseball.
Right. Because he's going to try and find something to turn around on you. So now it becomes yours. He's going to try to make you own the problem instead of him. So calm it down. Again, aggressive, all right? Assertive, not aggressive. Confident, not cocky. And be silent. Because in the end, we can get this guy later. I don't mean we will. Walls can, game reports can. We can start talking. This guy's being a problem. Let upper management handle that. Get the game played, get it over, and if we need to make a game report, we can do it when it's over.
There's the language, especially the way Al did both of those. To me, is it proper, is it good language, a good idea? Al, you need to calm down and talk to me. All this gesticulating is not going to go well for you. Just calm down and talk to me.
If you talk calmer than him, if you yell at him, you better calm down if you want to talk. No, okay, because then you've elevated above him. You want to bring this, you want to walk him down to your level and your spot. Okay? You called him safe, and then you went to B. Well, he wants to go over to A. I'm not going back over to first. If he wants to stand over a little bit, he's going to have to do it. He's going to have to show in front of everybody else that he's misbehaving. I'm not going to go over there. So, take it easy. This doesn't happen often. Even the best guys don't eject many people, even when they're wrong. You don't need to either. Let's just calm the guy down and let's get the game going back on without taking too much abuse. Let him know when you've had enough. Be professional. Own your call. Be confident in your call. And the game really will play itself. Questions or comments?
Yeah. One thing is I saw James do this, and the technique of turning your back and walking away. When do you do that? 'Cause I saw like Al do, you like no more. Would that be a good opportunity? Then you say no more, and then turn your back and walk away. Does that diffuse things, or is that gonna?
No, I don't think. If he's still on the field, you don't turn your back on him.
Okay.
Now, guys will say, "All right, listen, coach, I'm going to go to my position. If I get there and you're still standing on this field, I'm going to eject you." If you warned him, restricted him, and he's not leaving, and you're not where you're supposed to be, that might, if you say it, "Coach, I'm going to go to my position. If I get there and you're still on this field, I'm going to eject you." And then turn. Don't turn your back on him while he's yelling at you, because that's just going to infuriate him, just like it would you. Okay? All right, that's it for us. Okay, Hank?
We didn't bring this up at all, but it is an integral part, I think, is we didn't talk about what your partner's doing and how your partner's helping you out in a situation that could occur like this. Coming up, listening in, and if appropriate, come in, move in between, and help them off when it's appropriate.
That is an appropriate thing. We didn't talk about it because I wasn't trying to get to that part. It was just trying to be you and your reaction.
I wasn't supposed to be ejected.
And he wasn't supposed to be ejected. Calmer, nicer. There are things, but that's a different one. Because you can't handle, you can't look for your partner and wave him in. This is really pretty much about what you do. And it didn't really go on long enough and really got kicked up enough that your partner needed to come in. Because even if you eject a coach, there's no reason for you to get in there and jump between those two. Give the coach a minute to leave. Now, if he doesn't, then you can get in there and start playing the rodeo cowboy and get in between. Don't be rushing in there, because then all of a sudden he's going to turn from your partner who just made the call and created this mess. He's going to put it on you. So that's why we didn't do it. All right, that's it for me. You've been a great audience. Remember, tip your waiters and waitresses. I'll be here all weekend.